Hello, everyone. This is another Freedom to Feel conversation, and my guest today is Kim Depole. She is an interior designer, meditation teacher, and an artist. She's also the founder of NYC Depole Design. It brings over 25 years of experience in creating thoughtful, artful interiors that truly support how you live, work, and restore. I love that, especially when you use the word truly. There's something about that. The full bio will be at the end. There's more about Kim, but for now, that's my brief intro. The question that I love asking everyone, Kim, and you probably already have an idea, it's how would you introduce yourself? Who is Kim in her own words in this very moment?
That's a beautiful question. Um, I'm always in a state of becoming, I should say,
Mhm.
learning, evolving.
Yeah.
I'm fully embracing being a wise woman. I feel like I've earned this time in my life, and I feel a great need to give back and to leave a legacy
Mm.
and be mindful in my choices
Yeah.
and who I serve and
Yeah.
how I serve.
Mm. Wow. That's a beautiful definition, description of a wise woman, right? A wise human being, really. I love that. I always go back to love as my guide.
Mm,
You probably heard about it. There are two places that we come from: fear or love. So I'm always checking with myself, and am I coming from love? Am I coming from love? Whatever I do, whatever I say,
mm.
is that coming from love? I keep checking, with myself. In meditation and you name it, reflection, contemplations. It's all about that. Is that something that resonates with you too? That there's just two places to come from?
But for me, it's coming back to my breath
Mm.
because that's a remembering, that's a place of gratitude to even be here and be present. So for me, it's the breath.
Yes, and that would be neither love or fear. That would be.
It's gratitude.
Mm,
So I think I would replace love with gratitude.
mm,
Yeah, I
yeah,
really am. I my sister who lives in Hawaii
yeah,
taught me the Pono prayer,
mm.
and I'm sure you're familiar with
Oh yeah.
that, and I'm sure your audience is very familiar with that. So I will say that if ever I'm in a challenging situation and the breath doesn't remind me enough,
Mm,
it's also the space between holding the breath, isn't it?
yeah.
So it's the breath and that space between holding it and releasing it. And if there's ever fear or some other element that's coming in that's constrictive,
Yeah,
and I do the Pono prayer,
yeah,
it's magic
to
to me.
release.
That's just pure magic.
Yeah, that is so interesting that you say that. I love intuition too and how it works. I think I didn't mention that to you, did I? Off
No,
record that I'm moving to Hawaii next month.
no, which island?
Kauai.
That's where my sister lives on an
What?
ashram. Yes, my love. And also my nephew is a master rolfer,
Mm.
and I have to connect you with them. Absolutely. You
Oh,
have a new family. They're all waiting for you.
oh my God.
Oh, I just got like a
Yeah,
little shakti up the spine. Valerie, I swear, I just got a big shakti up the
yeah,
spine.
yeah, me too. Gosh, I just got emotional and I don't even know why exactly. But yeah, I've been
Oh,
guided
I
to
just
be
got
there.
honestly, I have goosebumps and shakti up the spine. I think we it has
Yeah.
been a long time since our meeting, and
Mm.
now we are reconnected. Don't you feel that?
Yeah,
I really
yeah,
feel that.
me too. Me too. That is
Wow.
so amazing. I remember when I was a child that I was a very rough situation in Brazil and a lot of abuse. I remember going outside, looking at the sky and saying, "Where are you?" And I know this is not my family. This is not my real family.
Wow.
I know that there was a sense of, the fear took over. There was a lot of pain and tons of violence. So I was kind of, I don't know why the mind was just kind of guiding me to orienting me into the stars, in the sky.
Mm,
My family was now to be found. They was not really here. But then as I just went in life, I just found that I could find them here, that they were here, they were actually embodied, these people. And I met some of them. Of course, my husband, I would say, is one of them. But there are so many people that I meet here actually on this
Hmm.
podcast that feel, I mean, my heart just open and it feels like,
Right.
wait a minute, you're my family too.
Yeah.
Um, oh, okay. So I guess talk to me about your inspiration to be doing what you're doing today. How did you get here with this
Well,
beautiful
it's
work?
interesting because I've been meditating all my life. I started to meditate when I was 18 years old with a TM class. And then it evolved since then, and always seeking and traveling and studying with Thich Nhat Hanh or
Oh,
studying with Amma or whoever. I mean, we all have beautiful, sentient beings that
mm,
we hopefully connect with in our life, right? That are
yes.
our teachers. And when I started my design practice, I was very secretive about my meditation practice.
Yeah.
I mean, people in the design studio, I had, designers in my space. I would like go off in the closet and slide, oh, Kim's meditating, don't bother her.
Yes.
And then when I would complete a project, especially a home, I'd go in before anybody else and I would do a puja. I would do a blessing. I wouldn't tell them
Yes.
ever. And it was my like little secret. And then when I closed my big, my design studio and just decided, 2020 came along,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then I just started working out of my home and just me and on the smaller projects. I realized, like, why am I hiding this beautiful thing that I do? What is this? This doesn't make any sense. So I've been working on how to model it because it's something that a lot of people, it's very foreign to them.
right.
And I had a lot, I do have some fear about, sharing it, but now it's like a sense of urgency. Like, what are you waiting for? Because I see such a need. I did a project where I literally, Valeria, had to go into 150 apartments. Each one was different with the developer when we were doing the kitchens and baths. What I saw there was so revealing to
Yeah.
me, was soulless. I mean, half
Mm,
those homes, all they had was the TV and the sofa and nothing else,
yeah.
nothing living, nothing expressive, nothing joy. And so I just filed that here and I thought, or here, and thought, you have to figure out a way to invite that experience because designers, so many impose their aesthetic, or they're a little too dogmatic about what your home or space
Right.
should look like. I mean,
Right.
there is a lot of expertise involved, absolutely,
Yes.
but there's also the invitation of your expression. It's
Mm,
your home.
mm,
What do you love? And sometimes so many designers, decorators, act like judge and jury or intimidate,
right.
my God, that is so
Yes.
alien to me. And the whole idea of design is beauty. It's the
Mm.
expression of beauty in the external environment. So,
Wow. Yeah, I love your work. And of course, what caught my attention is that's coming from that place of it's almost like guiding others to express themselves through,
yes.
through their homes and through designs. And that sounds, I mean, to me, it's a very spiritual work. So you're doing spiritual work through design.
Absolutely.
Gosh, I love that. My gosh, what are the questions that I wanted to ask? Oh, yeah. So you mentioned meditation. Usually, like in my case, I really became very interested in meditation because of the psychological suffering. It was too many negative thoughts and from trauma coming back. And it was just I just want to get away from all of that and just meditate and be peaceful for a while. In your case, it seems like, well, I would ask the question, how did you become interested in meditation? Is that it came naturally to you? It was not
It's
from.
so interesting because, as I said, I was invited by when went to Parsons, and there was a friend there who was very involved in the TM community. And what's ironic is I came to work for her husband's company, very big company, and he was a very dear friend of Maharishi. And so he
Oh,
took his whole company, which was in the South Bronx, if you could imagine, 300 people stopping to meditate. All
wow.
the little women in the factory leaving their sewing machines to go and
Yeah.
meditate. So it was just this
Mm,
incredible experience of being embraced. So it was just very
mm,
fortuitous that I
yeah.
was invited into that incredible environment. But I have to tell you, the
Wow.
first experience of meditating, and you have like a meditation teacher that guides you, was so exquisite. It was like a peony opening, blossoming. And I literally had soma, the sweet taste, in my mouth.
Oh,
So it was such a profound experience. And the other thing that happened to me that was a little frightening is my whole body would shake and I would literally fall off the chair.
wow.
And they would ask me, they said, "Did you, I hate to be blunt, but have you taken a lot of drugs? And you blah
Yes,
blah blah." I
absolutely.
said, "I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm like Sister Mary Regina. Are you kidding me?"
Yes, yes.
So I just, and so it was straight. So I think it was the act of remembering,
Mm,
right? I mean, that's
yeah.
really what happened. And ever since then, it's like breathing. It's if
Mm,
I can't, there's not been a day when I haven't meditated, quite
yeah.
frankly. I can't even, it's like breathing.
Yeah, how wonderful that is. It sounds like an act of grace to me,
Mm,
because some of us are touched by grace in essence.
right. Oh,
Something just
very
happened,
much.
right? In
Yeah.
your case, yeah, it's
Oh,
beautiful.
on so many. I mean, that's a whole other subject about the grace subject. That's a
Right?
whole other.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that too one of these days with you. Grace. So you mentioned timeless beauty. In your bio says Kim's unique vision blends her lifelong meditation practice and world travels with design, crafting spaces that evoke calm, balance, and timeless beauty. So I always see nature that way when I'm close to
Hmm.
flowers and trees, even my plants in the house. They are just yeah, it's this timeless, yeah, beauty, I can say that we use the word beauty. So I would love for you to talk to me for a moment about the concept of beauty, because we humans have all of us have different ideas that we attach to concepts in words, especially beauty. And
Mm,
being a woman, too, women usually think about beauty, physical beauty,
right.
and they don't go beyond that. So I'd love for you to talk to me about timeless beauty within your work and beyond.
Well, I have to say, timeless beauty for me is very particular to each person. I mean, for me,
Yeah.
it means being surrounded by books and
Yeah.
art
Yeah.
and plants and beautiful fabric. So, it's a layering process.
Yeah.
Timeless in that when you go into a space, that it looks like it's always been like that. It has a presence.
Yes.
And I lived in Japan for a few years and traveled, throughout Southeast Asia. And there's one word in Japanese called tokoro. And kokoro is heart, but tokoro is space as a state of being. So
Right.
being to me is beauty.
Being. Ah,
Being is
mm,
beauty. And it is
yeah.
influenced by culture. I
Mm,
was recently in South India, and their idea of beauty is to be adorned in a million colors, like
yes.
orange
Yeah.
and fuchsia and yellow. And I'm walking around with, a
Yeah.
yellow scarf and a black dress. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, it was like really waking up and
Mm,
being embraced by like a,
yeah.
a riot of color.
Yes.
And that's there, for me, that was a little too much color, but
Yes.
you know what I mean? But to me, really, I think
Mhm.
it's a state of being beauty. It is. There's so many,
Mm.
layers to that.
Yes, yeah. Thank you for expressing your thoughts on that. I always ask. I have asked this question. I think I asked. What's her name? She used to be a model, like a famous model. She's a designer too of clothing. She lives in New York
Mm,
too. I forgot her name now. You probably know her. She's quite known. And then I asked her about beauty, and she spoke of wisdom. I believe, yeah, beauty
interesting.
related
Yeah.
to wisdom. But I love the idea of being. So how how can we embody that? Aren't we already being in a sense? Everything's already being, but is that something that is
A
yeah,
state of, well, I'm thinking being as
mm,
present in the moment,
yeah,
and beauty as being the experience in the moment, right?
yeah,
I mean, it's the
yeah,
beauty of it would be the beauty of something impermanent as well, like a flower,
yes,
or beauty. I mean, I love watching light like sort of model on like beautiful drapery in a window. Like, to me, that's beautiful. But most people wouldn't equate that. Do you know what I? So that's why I'm
yeah,
saying there's. I mean, everybody says beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that's why I
mm,
refer back to being. It's your
mm,
presence of being, because it's
mm,
what you behold and what you
mm.
define as beautiful, isn't it? So
That's true. Yeah, it's very much true. I'm wondering if the underlying feeling of the experience of beauty is the same for everyone. How do you feel when you
I think it's, well, we're having worked with so many different clients, um, very different, very different.
yeah, yeah,
Um, Beauty often, again, I mean, I'm happy to say I've worked with so many different clients of different cultures,
yes.
and their idea of beauty is very different. And so for me, it was, um, how do I find those, how do they articulate those elements, and how do I emphasize or enhance those elements? I had a client from Zurich,
Yeah.
and their idea of beauty was a lot of fur elements, which is an anathema to me. So
Yeah.
that was a real rough one, to
Okay.
have to get a zebra carpet,
Ah,
and do a real zebra carpet, not a fake one. Do you
right.
know? So
Yeah.
for me, it's like, wow, isn't that interesting? Their concept of beauty was very particular,
Right.
and I couldn't judge that.
Right.
I could make not make that choice for myself,
Mm,
but it's so interesting, and
yeah.
then everything very minimal. Or another client who was from the Philippines, where everything was only about family. Like, if
Ah,
it didn't have an element of family, it wasn't in the home. So
yeah.
that's what I love about what I do, is because it's an education for every person, and to get in there and have them express that is, it's a dance, it's a process.
Yeah. Oh, it's a gift, though, I see. To be able to do that, that means you're very open too. You see, you cannot be judgmental. So
You
that's
can't be
brilliant.
judgmental. Yeah, it's
That
tough.
in itself, I see that too as beauty, though, being open, non-judgmental, being open to what is, to what's happening.
Hmm.
There's so much beauty in that. I think it's similar to me when I see people helping one another. The other day I saw in front of my house a turtle was crossing, and then my husband saw the turtle and said, "Oh, I need to help that turtle. I need to help it." And then when he got there, two teenagers, they were already helping the turtles to cross, and a big
Oh,
one. And when I saw that, I just started to cry because it's just so much beauty. I couldn't even hold that, that all that energy.
yeah.
The body started to just, perhaps because it's something that the soul, the body, I'm not sure, or the conditioned body, mind, they are not um, in contact with on a day to
Hmm.
day moment. And I don't watch TV for a reason too, because I know it's
Yeah,
quite
me
the
too.
opposite of what we
Yeah,
see.
I don't even own one. Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
there's something about that. Once we see that, it's very subtle, but I don't know, Kim. Yeah, that is really beautiful to me when I see
Mm,
humans helping one another. Like this platform, I mean, my heart opens. There's that feeling of devotion. That's what it is, because I sense in them that they are doing what they are doing to help others. They're helping
right.
themselves, of course, help others, and they help the environment. It's almost like this chain of greatness, of goodness,
Hmm.
and I can't help
Yeah,
it.
of compassion. I mean, and then
Yes.
also to realize it's not about me.
Mm,
It's about the message. It's about who can I serve, how
right.
can I help,
Right.
and not
Right.
not judging, being open to your, and because I think so many people are not given that pass card. Like, yeah,
Right.
you can crayon outside the line. You don't have to stay,
Yeah.
within the lines. You can have, a lot of more artistic freedom than you even think you have.
Right, right. And there's something about artists, yeah. They're so open. And of course, you're an artist. That makes sense. It makes so much sense. And then something else in your bio that caught my attention. Let me see. Yeah, she guides you through a collaborative process to transform your home into a personal sanctuary tailored to your lifestyle. So, what collaborative work? That's something else too, because you need to work with somebody else, and they like you just mentioned, there's something very beautiful about that too. This thing about help, being able to listen to somebody else, and kind of even though you might disagree, as you just mentioned about the zebra, I would too, but then you still kind of you are able to understand and understand them, where they are coming from, or perhaps even understand that they are unique in that sense.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that
Yeah.
is just such a beautiful thing. I wanted to mention that again. That takes some, yeah. It also makes sense to me that because your background, I mean, meditation does that. It
Yeah,
puts
it
you in
makes
touch
you
with that.
more, yeah, it opens your heart. It makes you more compassionate and patient. I mean, I can
Yes.
never imagine why anybody would not want to learn how to meditate and realize.
Right.
I mean, and to me, that's the message. I mean, design is the vehicle.
Yeah.
Design is the vehicle, but the message
Mm,
is, I mean, I
mm.
can sense immediately when you go, or anybody could sense when you go into someone's home and you feel their energy, and it's not like it's decorated. It has nothing to do with decoration. It's intentional. There's
Right.
loving aspects to it, and you can feel that devotion. It's really very clear. And then when you go in a home and there's none of that, there's not even that it's disorganized, that there's no expression there,
Right.
is just, it's like a missed opportunity. That's what I see. It just a missed opportunity.
And it is, yeah, it is. Is that because most people think about, when they think about design, are they coming from a place of just, let's say, practicality? Because a lot of people are very practical when it comes
Not
to those things.
No, I think, well, there's that aspect. I mean, practicality is my number one. I mean, it
Right.
needs to be functional. What's
Yes.
the point? The
Yeah.
space needs to flow. It needs to serve you. It needs to serve you in whatever way you need it to, no matter what the size. It needs to
Right.
be optimized.
Right. Right.
But I would say more that's influential is, social media,
Uh,
or keeping up with the Joneses or status or that, which
right.
is fine if that's what you prefer. That is not in my vocabulary.
Mm,
So that's why I truly believe people, you're meant to work with the people you're
mm.
meant to work with, right? So,
Yes. Yes.
and you can't change everyone, but hopefully you can just add a little light in that darkness, or some
Mm,
expansiveness in all of that contraction.
yes. How beautiful that is, to have that opportunity. Do you have some examples of that? People that you had to, in a way, it was a challenge to kind of, giving them that view, that broader view, that light.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, so many times. Let's see, where can I begin? I had a couple that were in, finance, and everything was
Yeah.
very structured and functional per se.
Yeah.
And then I just said, well, what do you like to do? Oh, we love to
Mhm.
travel and I like to take pictures. Let me see the pictures. So
Yeah.
she sent me the pictures. I blew them up and I had them printed on canvas so they look like paintings on a really thick
Oh,
frame.
right.
And then we designed the whole living room around that photograph. And I have to tell you, when
Mhm.
people see that image of her living room, they say, oh, can I buy, like, where is that, what collection is that? And I'm like, well, it's Roberta's collection, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and then from that,
Uh-huh.
they call me, oh, Kim, we just went to the gallery on West 50. Have you caught that show? And I'm like, what do you mean about, like, you know what I mean? They start to tell
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
So that was so beautiful
Yeah.
and so lovely. And another one that was really
Yes.
just the
Yeah.
sweetest experiences. I had a client who was divorced and had custody of the two little girls. And so I said, "Can I take over your closet? This is too big an apartment."
Yeah.
And then he goes, "Okay, what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to make a little space for your daughter." And like a secret place because she
Right.
was having the hardest time when she was younger. So
Yeah.
I made it into a castle with a
Yeah.
little reading nook. And so and I have a treasured video of daddy like
Oh,
climbing in, to and it
yeah.
was so
That's sweet.
lovely. And
Yeah.
it was just and my
Mhm.
assistant had gone through a divorce similar to that, and she's crying, and
Oh.
I'm crying. It was
Yes, I can imagine.
but it was like those
Yeah.
kind of like really like it made
Uh,
a difference. I'm hoping it made a difference in that young girl's
I'm sure.
processing because she had a safe place to go. And
Yes.
it was in her father's bedroom, but it was hers. So,
Yes.
that kind of experience.
Yes. It helps a lot. I mean, your experience. I mean, what you are, who you are. That's what it is, and your sensitivity, because that's what it is too. You're able to, yeah, to see even what some people cannot see. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm sure it helped her because I mean, we have no idea how much we impact others without in ways that we will never know.
right.
We'll
Exactly.
never know.
That's
Like
true.
I have met people here that they have no idea, but their presence never left me, and they're still with me, and it's kind of, yeah, it's a gift. It's just so beautiful.
Mm,
It happens all the time. It
interesting.
stays with me. So, talk to me about the difference between meditation and mindfulness. So, I see that I have asked that question before, and a lot of people have different answers actually when it comes to that. I'm
Interesting.
wondering what your answer would be.
So for me, meditation is the practice. It's the practice of that involves the breath. And I like to teach different mudras in the hand position because I think that enhances the
Yes,
experience. I
yes,
like to share thinking about a color that relates to the chakra in the body on
yeah,
whatever's needed. So
yeah,
meditation to me is the practice. It's the function of it. The process.
yeah,
Mindfulness is the action to me. Mindfulness is the embodiment of it. It's awareness and
mm,
being present in the moment.
yeah.
Thich Nhat Hanh always would say, present moment, perfect moment. And
Yeah,
right, so that's
yeah,
another way. Like
yeah,
if I'm not brought back with my breath,
yeah,
I just think about him.
yeah.
And it was interesting. I went on a silent retreat, and it was up in Boston somewhere for like a week,
Mm.
and he was on the stage, and his microphone was in his brown little pocket,
Yeah.
and you could hear his heart beating,
Oh,
and it was silence in this huge auditorium, and we all looked at each other and went, "Do you hear his heart?" Like we were all like whispering, like that's,
oh.
and it was incredible. I mean, I get goosebumps just
Yeah,
remembering
I
that.
get emotional. Yeah. Oh my,
Yeah, it
it is
was just
beautiful.
so exquisite.
Mm. Oh gosh, yeah, I got emotional again. Yeah, he has yeah, he had this very, I mean, he's very pure. That's what comes to me every time I think of him. He comes to me as an image. It's purity.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it
Just
feels that way. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God. So when you said that, I thought about my, like my dogs. We have he was a puppy. I mean, he's 4 years old now. But yeah, when I hear his heartbeat,
Uh,
yeah, it feels that way. So pure. He's just like there. Not to compare, of course, because humans and animals, they care. I think that we carry the same essence, right? We all life itself, the essence of God, uh, hmm, of sacredness, of the divine.
yeah,
So it's not really different.
there's
But
something so beautiful if you put two cells together that have a heartbeat in
yeah,
the same dish, the beats will be in synchronized. That
yeah,
isn't that remarkable?
yeah.
I mean, when I read that, I just thought
Wow.
that is just incredibly beautiful.
Yes, that's an evidence that if we need an evidence for that, that everything is interconnected, that we are all interconnected. There's no separation really, but the illusion of it. That's
Right.
really, and now, but now I'm a student of Vedanta, which is a Hindu philosophy. So you probably heard about the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah,
Have you
I
heard?
have a
Oh,
copy on my
you do,
table.
yes.
Yeah.
Those are my, yeah, they are my guides, yeah, my teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Upanishads especially. So, what was I saying? Oh, yes, yeah. So it's almost like we don't need evidence anymore. I mean, I don't. It's already very clear to me that everything's sacred because everything's divine. It's one essence. So it kind of, now it's the embodiment of that, kind of clearing the mind enough not to jump in and kind of create the separation because it does naturally, which I don't judge the mind either. It's its own, it's nature, isn't it? It's a tool. The problem is that we've been used by the tool, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, I think 99% of the time, or 90%, the mind is using us as a tool, pure consciousness as a tool, and then now we're just conditioned by the mind and kind of coming from a place that it's not really sacred in the sense of creating something that's not in alignment with the sacredness of life. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel very I'm very devotional about it. It's not really opinion, and I don't have strong opinion about anything or belief system, but there's something that's very devotional that keeps guiding me to embody that, and that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing now, trying to embody more body, mind, and yeah, that sacredness, that place that holds everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see how that goes. I mean, has been wonderful so far with yeah, but it still has some places that I needed to work on.
That's
Is
a
that
that's a life's work. The Bhagavad Gita. I've
yes?
just recently started to. I bought it in
Yeah,
India. I bought a couple of
yeah,
translations, and it's such a powerful
yeah.
life lesson. Oh my! I mean, I had no idea the depth of it. I'm just to tell you the truth. That's pretty recent that I'm starting to read it and really dive into the lessons because it's just there's a lot in that book. A lot.
Yes, yes, yes. The first time I heard about the Bhagavad Gita was in Brazil. I think I was still living there, yes, but I didn't give much attention. But then this woman, she's a philosopher, and she used to read. It was in Portuguese, and I remember just looking at her. She had that beautiful presence because I usually don't. It's almost I go beyond what people are saying, and I'm kind of their energy is kind of already introducing them to me more
Right.
than what they
Exactly.
say.
Yeah.
So she was saying a lot of things, but there's something about her presence that caught my attention. I like, wow,
Mm,
I want to now. I want to listen because something. I feel good in her presence. And then there we go. She was talking about the Bhagavad Gita in Portuguese,
mm,
and that we had lost. We had forgotten what is sacred in life. We are completely kind of there's no sacredness anymore. And then she
mm.
said, "Oh, books like this will wake up, will bring us back to what life is fundamentally about." And
Right.
that's when I started studying the Bhagavad Gita. Anyway, there'll be another conversation in itself.
Yeah. No. Let me go deeper in the book before I.
Ah, that would be wonderful. Yes. So I have the topics that you outlined to me. So your statement is beautiful too about transformation. My vision is to be a catalyst for transformation within the home, inspiring creative expression, optimizing space, and making informed, sustainable choices. So that's another point that I'm very passionate about right now for some reason too. Is about sustainable practices and
Mm,
choices.
yes.
So I would love to hear from you how you integrate that within your designs,
Um.
especially when somebody's not in alignment. If a client doesn't really want it. to
Yeah.
incorporate
Well,
business?
I tell you, I first came to the understanding of sustainable design when I was working with developers. And it was very frustrating because it was a line item that got crossed off because it cost too much.
Okay.
And then I acquainted myself with
Yeah.
sustainability in the manufacturing realm when I would select a fabric and I would see it has a
Mhm.
spray of Teflon or whatever. But I'm so happy to report that my industry has really, stepped
Mhm.
up. And
Yes.
there's so much more awareness. There's
Yeah.
so much more available. Before, there weren't a lot of choices. And often my recommendations were to go vintage. Don't buy something new, buy something old, which is still my mantra.
Yes.
Sustainable design in terms of choices that support your health and down to the paint on the wall, low VOC, does not off gas. Usually I'd be asked only for the baby's room, but no, no,
Yeah.
no. What about your bedroom? I mean, it's not just for the infant. So
Right.
there's so much more awareness now
Mhm.
because I partner sustainability with healthful choices.
Right.
Also,
Right.
sustainability in not buying furniture as fashion that winds up in a landfill
Right.
and self-destructive furniture. I mean, who would thought that now with all of this craziness that's going on in that area that now people will be consuming less. Well,
Mhm.
thank goodness for that
Yes.
because
Yes.
all you need to do is do editing to have a more efficient home, not keep adding. It's more of a curating editing process, isn't
Yes.
it?
Yes.
So sustainable is sustain you. What sustains you in your health,
Mhm.
also the whole level, what
Mhm.
sustains you spiritually,
Yeah.
emotionally, physically. I mean, sustainable is kind of
Mhm.
like the branches of a tree, isn't it? Because there's
Yes.
so many facets to that, and then within that are all the different leaves. So
Mm.
I love that. So I think I have I do a lot of writing on Substack, and I think I'm going to do a whole new series because somebody asked me about my concept of decluttering, and
Yeah.
I said I can't stand that word. And
Declutter.
it's not decluttering, it's really curating, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's curating so
Yes.
it's more functional, so it's more
Right.
beautiful or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm here to like annihilate the word declutter.
Good. Good for you, Kim.
Yes.
Good. I love that too. I mean, you coming from this beautiful place that you can't go wrong. Yeah. Everything that comes from you, it's the most like, oh, I trust, I trust, I trust. If we were to walk together, it's like, oh, you just do it because that's it. That's all I need to feel. So, what sustains you? I love the way you said that. So, sustainable is something that sustains us at different levels. So, for you, what is that something that sustains you at all
What
levels?
sustains me,
Yeah.
I always say first and foremost, my meditation practice. What
Right.
sustains me is art. And
Mm, yeah.
um, there's The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. I'm sure you're familiar with that book.
Yeah.
So, and she has that take yourself on art dates, and I do that all
Yeah.
the time. And I have a lot of friends that want to come with me, and I'm like, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
I'm going
Wow.
solo. And
Yes.
so I may, and living in New York City is just a blessing. The other thing that sustains me is I'm part of a community garden for a
Oh,
couple of decades. So
yeah.
I only have a 4 by 8 foot plot. It
Oh.
is so full right now because we had our plant and
Wow.
bake sale. So I have every inch with,
Yeah.
kale and collards and herbs and flowers. There's nothing, and a big Buddha head. So,
Oh, that's
so that really sustains me to just, as a city girl, to stick the hands in the earth.
yes.
Wow, there's nothing like it.
That's
So,
a big deal.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's huge.
Yes. And I sometimes I wonder. I know that this probably won't happen because I mean, who knows? That's a would be an interesting thing that if it happened. But why do some people kind of live in big cities? I lived in New York too, and I didn't adapt though. I was now
Mm.
in Florida too. My body, it's just And then Hawaii, yes,
Oh,
definitely.
Hawaii, you're going to
It
be in
just
such,
opens up.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're going to
that's
be in such bliss. I mean, my sister walks around and picks hibiscus flowers around. I mean, and star
yeah.
fruit from the tree, and it's
Yeah.
really paradise. It's paradiso for sure.
Uh,
I'm a city girl. I don't know how to drive. I lived in London, I lived in Tokyo and New York,
yeah.
and I'm a total city girl because I can have the solitude and I could have go out and be surrounded. And you have to realize you could feel so alone in a city. I mean, you're surrounded by a million
Yeah.
people. There's so much loneliness here in New York.
Yes.
And I witness that now, and
Yeah.
I have a lot of compassion for
Yeah.
what I see. But
Yes.
and then homeless. That's the other thing I'm wanting to organize is I had this project called the Pillow Project where I would design pillows because homeless people don't even have a pillow to lay their head, and we use pillows as decorative, like throwaway elements.
Right.
So I was working on forming my own nonprofit, the Pillow
Oh,
Project.
I love
Would be
that.
just that. So every pillow that you buy, you could either sit on it and meditate, or and then it all goes to help the homeless. Because I feel, especially when you see homeless children,
Yes.
is just heartbreaking. So, and I see the disparity of people having so much
Right.
and so little. But the thing about living in the cities that I think is extraordinary is the compassion,
Yeah.
because you're exposed
You're
to
right.
so much. But
Mm.
I think in order to survive emotionally, so many people here put the blinders on and don't even look and don't even see. So it's a there's pluses and minuses, and I do, for my own mental health, have to put my hand in the soil just to ground myself, but escape and travel is my
Yeah.
escape. So
Yes. Oh, that's true. You travel, so you know. Yes.
yeah.
So, well, you have your sister in Hawaii. You have me in Hawaii now.
Yeah,
Who knows? Maybe you'll be there
on
for
the
a
same
while.
island. I don't even have to fly to another island.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. It's funny when you mentioned just now about not driving. I don't drive though, and I know that living in a place like Hawaii, everybody, like Lori, she's a real estate agent in Hawaii, and she called me and then she said, "I cannot believe you can't drive. That would be a nightmare
It's,
here."
I
I
mean,
said,
I
"Everybody."
don't, I don't, trust me, you don't want me to drive, but
Yeah, me
Hawaii is
too.
the one place that I would drive, not that I have, but it's the one place I would, because where you're going to go in Kauai, you just go
Right.
around. It's very simple. So I
Ah.
think you'll be driving in no time. I really do.
So
Yes.
wow. Yeah, I never really, I know how to drive, but I was never really interested because cities, yeah, I can't really have too
Yeah.
many people around me and all the chaos.
Oh, you're
But
going to be so happy. And which
so
part,
very
where, do you know where in Kauai you're going to be?
not yet though. Not
Oh,
yet. I'll let you know. Yeah, I'll talk to you a little bit more off record
okay.
about the details.
All right.
But yes, you have no idea. Yeah, there's a lot unknown here. So we're almost at the end with the conversation, but let me see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, is there anything, the process? So I would love to hear about the 7 facets of living and also the design style quiz.
Oh,
If
yeah.
there's something else we mentioned when we
Oh,
met
the room
offline.
scan. Yeah, no,
Yes,
yeah, I'd love to talk about the style quiz and the room scan. Yeah, that would be great.
yes, please. Yeah. Um,
So the style quiz is something I created that's visual, because you can't talk about visual things without looking at them.
right, right.
It's also has every facet that is in your home that
Yeah.
maybe you hadn't even considered. I think about everything, every detail, and
Yeah.
maybe you don't have that same kind of awareness of a color of a metal. What does that feel like? Uh,
Yes.
an option for a window covering other than a shade.
Right.
Is that it? No, no, no. So
Right.
there's all that. And then also, how do you want to feel in your space? Do you
Mm,
like a cozy space? Do you like something expansive? So it's free. It's called the Design Style Quiz. It's on my website. And
yeah.
then I deliver the result in some general categories, because that sort of helps you have that conversation, and then sort of, whets your appetite for making design choices.
Right. That's lovely, though. I love when I saw that. I had to have it here to ask you about it. Yes, and I have not taken the quiz, but I will. I will. I'm
Okay,
curious
wonderful.
now, even more. So the room scam. I didn't see this on the website. It said on your website is depoledesign.com, but
Yes,
was that there
it's
already?
under it's under a category called "Buy Me a Coffee," which is ironic because I stopped drinking coffee. So I should say it's a platform. I wish it said "Buy Me a Tea," not a
Yes,
coffee.
yes.
No more Bustelo for me. So yeah, no, I have like 20 espresso
Uh,
pots.
oh,
So basically what the room scan is, it's
uh-huh.
like design, as a designer I kind of have x-ray vision. It's sort of my superpower, and I
Yeah,
can go in any room and, and know exactly what to do, what's
yeah,
missing, blah 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 blah. So what I decided to do was just give it a try. It's like an intro session for 1 hour. You
yeah.
fill out a questionnaire so I have a little more insight into the details of the one room. And
Wow.
then we're on a Zoom session, and I model a little bit of a mindful practice so you can go in deep, and we
Mm,
do all of that together. And
mm,
then I deliver a very detailed document. I call it the checklist with
mm.
resources, recommendations, and I've modeled it with a few people, one that lives in Ireland, one that lives in Canada, and yeah, and they're so excited. They're still in the process
Yeah.
of redesigning. So if I can just get you excited about
Mm,
making some changes in
yeah,
one room,
yeah.
then that's the beginning of transformation.
Yes, because that will expand. Yeah, there is always the possibility of expansion, and it usually happens naturally
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely, organically.
Yes, right. So, what about the seven facets of living? I did read with the. I just went through the Canva.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Book
So
you
the
sent.
seven facets is how I'm modeling a meditation, very specific meditation practice.
Yeah.
It's something I'm not offering yet, but I
Oh,
designed an ebook and a video to sort of articulate it a little bit. But basically, it's going through the seven facets of living in your home, all the different kinds of zones and activity. And
wow.
we start in the bedroom because that's where you dream, and that's a
Mm,
place of love and the unconscious. So
right.
we start our sessions
Mm,
there on Zoom. Everything's done virtually, and then we go room by room. So that's something that's new and that I'm still modeling, and I'll be sharing soon, hopefully. But yes,
yeah.
very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It really kind of resonated with me about the facets because then you think about a diamond, and then you had the picture of a diamond there. Because it's almost like the diamond, every facet of a diamond has it's the same thing, really. It's a different facet, but it's the same energy. It's very
Mhm.
harmonic. So it's like a house with all these rooms, these spaces, but in the end, it's almost like everything needs to connect and
Oh,
come
that's
together as
really
one.
that's so Valeria, that is so reassuring to me because I was working with an advisor that said, "Oh, that diamond, get rid of it," and I was like, "What?"
Oh no, love
Because
that.
to me, I thought that was like a perfect analogy to
Right.
living in your home, and it's from a piece of coal you make a diamond, right? So,
Yeah.
but thank you for that. Oh, I needed that little support. I
Yeah.
was like losing my confidence in that imagery.
Oh, no, that's exactly how I felt it when I saw it. And I was looking for the diamond, and then I saw it because facets, and then vision came to me of a diamond, and then I saw that you had
Oh,
one.
beautiful.
Like,
Yay.
oh,
I
that's
have a
so.
gorgeous graphic that I'm gonna revisit that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah. No, thank
Thank
you
you.
for your beautiful work. Thank you for your presence. Gosh, thank you for being you, Kim.
Thank
It's
you.
so
This was
beautiful. Yeah,
glorious.
thank you.
Yeah, beautiful.
So the website is depoledesign.com. It will be on the podcast notes. And at the end of the conversation, is there anything that you left unsaid, Kim? Any
I
question
don't
I didn't
think
ask?
so. I just want to know I want to connect you with someone in Hawaii to show you properties.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't. Yeah, that in the moment. Another question is this platform is titled The Freedom to Feel for a reason because I was so inspired by so many amazing people that I met. It kept coming back to me, this theme of being free to feel. But At this very end, I'll ask you this question: how do you feel about freedom? What is freedom to you? What
Oh
comes to mind?
God, that's such an important question now more than ever, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
freedom. What is freedom? Freedom is to act without fear or judgment. That's
Yes.
it, really,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Very simple in a way, and straightforward, and easy said than done. It's a practice
Yeah,
for life for all of us.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that too, for sharing wisdom. I am a wisdom lover. So every time I hear somebody that there's a perfume of wisdom, I just become so, it's almost like a magnet to me. Oh gosh, you're wise. Great. We'll get along really well. So
Are you familiar with the writings of Mark Nepo?
no,
Oh, send me your mailing address. I'll
I
send it
will.
to you. There's
Okay.
a book I use every day when I meditate. You have to I have to send
Really?
you that book. Yes,
Oh
absolutely.
gosh, thank you. Yes. So I'll talk to you in the moment off record, but for now, thank you so much again, Kim, for your beautiful
Oh,
presence in this
wonderful.
platform. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye for now, my
Blessings.
dear. Thank you.